Hey guys, do you want to know the fastest way to bring in revenue for your auto shop right now without spending a dime on ads? I'm James Griffin with Auto Shop Marketing Pros, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what happened when we sent out a simple text message to a list for one of our clients. Now, within just a few hours, they had more than 125 people respond yes. So that's 125 fresh leads. These were people that were already in their database, but now they're asking again for their offer. That's actually about 4% of the total contacts that we sent out. It wasn't their entire list, and really a lot of book jobs. Stick with me because I'm going to walk you through the keys that made this campaign work, the cost, the potential ROI, and more, so you can do the same for your shop. Now, guys, we talk a lot about Google ads and Facebook ads on this channel, and we certainly recommend those. And that needs to be an ongoing strategy for your shop. But in reality, a lot of you already have a huge list. So if you're looking to get more customers right away, chances are good that you can use that existing list. So what I mean by that is if you have an existing list of any customers, whether they're current customers, past customers, any leads that have ever submitted information to your shop, meaning name, email, phone number. And in this case, it could just mean name and phone number because what we're talking about is a text campaign. That list, even if you've only been open for a year or longer, even a few months, you probably have a list of leads or customers that have submitted their information to you. So if you've been open for a lot longer, then chances are good you may have thousands of leads, thousands of potential leads just waiting for you to make this offer to them. That being said, what we're going to do is we're going to take that list and we want to send a text to that. What this is called is a database reactivation campaign. Basically, we're taking that database of people, we're reactivating, or we're making a new offer to them to excite them about some offer. This offer could really be for anything in your shop, and it can also apply to other businesses as well. Even if you're not an auto shop and you have some kind of lead list like that, you can and should most likely be doing this because if people have purchased from you or people have provided their information, chances are good that they know you already, even if they didn't buy something, and they probably have some level of trust. So you can provide that offer. Now, what offer could we make? Think about any offer for your shop. So whether it's auto repair, auto body, collision, detailing, paintless dent repair, custom shop, any of those can certainly make an offer. So here is an example. Let's just go straight with collision dent repair. So even if that's the only thing you do, you can go back out and say, hey, we have an offer on fixing a dent this month. Here's the offer. It's so much percentage off or whatever it is, and asking them if they are interested in that offer. Because again, chances are good that most people do have a dent. They need something fixed. It could also be painting. It could be something fairly low offer, low value. If you're selling a product, if you're selling an upgrade, make that offer. As far as detailing goes, it could be a tinting offer, could be a detailing offer, could be saying we have this detailing offer this month. Are you interested in checking it out? There's so many ways to do this. And the fact is, people who need their car fixed or want their car fixed or cleaned or whatever, that's going to be an ongoing desire. Okay, so all that said is I want to make sure you understand that the premise behind this is sending a text out to your existing list. Let's go over to this campaign. Okay, guys, here we are in part of the campaign setup. I'm not going to show you the actual campaign, but I wanted to show you how this kind of flow works. So here behind me, you can see these are text campaigns. And again, I'm not going to go into the technical details of it, but if you understand how this works, 1, 2, 3, here was the first one that went out. But actually, before I talk about this, what I wanted to say is if you have a list, you want to kind of look at that list and segment it based on dates as far as when that last contact was made. What I mean by that is if you have a list that's months old or years old, well, chances are good that those people more than a year old may not know you. They may not remember you. So it's a good idea to have a different text for that older list. Let them know who you are, that, hey, you're offering this new deal. Then for the people who are less than a year old, or maybe it's so big that maybe it's just 6 months old, whatever the timeline that you want to allocate for that is, have that in 2 different lists. And if your shop's so new that it's only a year old, then it's probably fine. So anyway, that first, you're going to segment these and send them out. How this worked is, if you can see this first one, I call this initial blast, and it went out. Actually, you can see it went out earlier this month. And this, then the first group of text. This is only 2,500 contacts. Now, for some people, that might seem like a lot. For a lot of shops, it's not that many. But anyway, 2553 went out, and we offered this to them as, hey, this is my name. Here is the offer that we're making. Are you interested? Just reply yes, and I'll send you the details. In reality, we already provided the details in that first text, but we're just saying reply yes if you're interested. Well, look at this, 125 people responded yes. Basically what happens was if they responded yes here, this next phase went out. It sent them a follow-up text saying, hey, thank you very much. Here's the full offer. Here's a link to purchase or to book an appointment. And then it tells them the next steps. It also sends an alert to the team to go ahead and make a response as well. And it does some other functions in there. Likewise, if they responded no to this first one, then it will tag them as no, and really nothing else happens. So we really don't want to send a text out because these texts do actually cost money. I'm going to go into that here in a minute. I built a calculator that shows you the cost and the return on investment. So keep that in mind here. 2553, 125, and you might think, well, that's not too many. Let's take a look. Let's go over to the calculator. AutoShop SMS campaign valuation calculator is kind of funny because if you've seen my videos before, you know I have a AutoShop growth calculator that we talk about where we plug in data, plug in how many leads you're looking for, how many customers you're trying to get, and your cost per lead and all that stuff. And it shows you basically how much it's going to cost to reach your goals. Well, here I kind of built the same thing, and this is a SMS campaign valuation. So here we're going to do, we're going to enter the data on this sheet. Now let me go back and show you the numbers here on this one. Okay, so here we are. Remember, these numbers are what we're going to put in. We got 2553, 125, and 175. Okay, so number of contacts we sent out was 2553 as the number of outbound text. And I'm going to explain all this stuff here. The number of the yes responses was 125. And so actually this outbound SMS cost, what this is actually, every time you send a text, it's not like our phones where we have unlimited texting. In fact, if you remember the old days where we actually had to pay for all text, this is how that used to work. We used to have to pay for text every time you send it, which would be a pain now because we send out so many texts probably to everyone. You'd be paying hundreds of dollars for text messaging. But anyway, now we just use our cell phone services and we get unlimited texting and calls. And for whatever reason, that works out for the carriers. But now for business texting, using these systems, it's going to cost you. So a segment really actually costs about 0.00740. Let me show you this. I have that written down here. Okay, there you go. So this is 0.00740. So basically less than half a penny for one segment. And I think one segment is about 160 characters or something like that. And anyway, it's a very short amount. It's a very small amount that you get. I'm not sure if you can see that behind my head. There it is. There's a 0.0740. That's the cost per segment. And now this SMS cost is actually, it was twice that. So this is actually 2 times that amount. And it's still 0.014. So it's basically 1.5 pennies. So between 1 and 2 cents per text. Not a lot of cost. But basically because we added more text in there, it actually costs a little bit more. So that, based on this, we actually got 125 responses. And then when the contact came back and said yes, that actually cost as well. And these people are just stealing our money because they're taking, they charge us for every single text, right? So that charges us again, even though they only said yes, it could have been like, yes, I'm really interested, all that stuff. It's the same cost. So that was one segment. It cost us half a penny. So now the business yes response text cost, if you notice, I actually did the calculation here. It was actually 5 segments. For whatever reason, it seemed like a longer text response. And also, if you think about it, it actually included a link So that link was kind of longer. So it was 5 segments, 3 cents per response, but 125 of those. And the number of no responses was 175. Remember, those also cost us a half a penny. Now down at the bottom, I've calculated this for us. So the outbound cost for 2,500 texts, even if they do nothing, it costs us $38. So it costs us almost $40 to send out 2,500 or 53 texts. And then the lead yes response. Now what I did was I added these together. So it was actually these two amounts times 125. So it's $5 for yes responses. And we also got to include the no responses. And that was $1. So what that means is we had the outbound cost, $38. The lead yes cost was $5. The no response was $1.31. And then the total cost was $45.05. There were probably a few other responses going back and forth. And there were some people that came back and said, hey, can you explain this offer to me a little bit more? So even if we add another $1 or $2 or $5, right? It could be even $5 more. It's still $50. So let's just say it costs $50. Okay, so now let's go over here to the lead calculation side over here, because we really want to see, what does that actually mean? Okay, we spent all this money. What do we get out of it? Let's look at the average new offer value. What I mean by that is this offer is the offer that went out to your list. And in this case, the offer, let's say it's a dent repair, or it could be a tinting, or could be a detailing, something like that. And the offer could be anywhere from $200 to $500, but let's say the low value, just to be reasonable and conservative. Putting your cost, let's say the lowest one might be $200, but even if someone spent $300, let's just look at the lowest cost we might get if everyone got this $200 value. Now, in my AutoShop growth calculator, I actually talk about your average lead closing percentage. And this is probably the typical average lead closing percentage if it's cold marketing. So these are people who don't know you. It could be lower, could be 25%, could be 50%, I don't know, could be 80%. But these are actually people who you send out to the text list who actually know you. This again could be a range. In this case, I talked to someone who's booking the calls, and what they said was they're getting about 5 booked jobs for every 25 calls. Okay. So that's 20%. That's pretty good. Let's use the 20% for that, and let's put it out there. All right, so that means total new leads, it's straight from here, 125 new leads. The cost for the warm up lead. So when we sent out 2,500 texts, right, these were already existing leads, existing contacts, but it doesn't mean that they're automatically purchasing. You got to go back out to them. So these are the cost for those warmed up leads, 36 cents. 36 cents, guys. That's amazing per lead. Wow. 36 cents for a warmed up lead. Now, based on that, the expected new jobs, if we only get 20% of those jobs, we expect to get 25 jobs out of 125 total new leads. Okay. Now, if it's only $200, which is not bad, that's $5,000. Now, for some shops, that's good. Some shops, that's not good. But the point of this is that you sent out a text for $45 total, maybe $50, and you got $5,000 out of it at this rate. That's pretty good. The ROI would be 110x, or what was that? 11,000%, I believe. So let's change the numbers here and say you actually get 50% of those booked. If 50% of those people book a call, or book a job, not a call, it's $12,000. 277x. And then here, if you actually get, instead of 200, it's, even if it's 250, let's say it's not that much more, you go up to $15,000 made. So that's from sending out 2,500 texts. The potential right there is amazing. The bottom line, guys, is if your shop's been slow, you need cars in your base fast in your shop, and you have a list. If you don't have a list, this isn't going to work for you. So if you have a list, then you can start doing this database reactivation campaign. Let me add one caveat to this, is that when you're doing this database reactivation campaign, this is to a current existing database of customers' name, email, phone number that have opted in to your list. So we want to make sure we're only sending text to people who have agreed to receive text for you. They've opted in. We want to make sure we're compliant. Then once you do that, then you can send your list a text. A lot of shops, a lot of guys might think, I don't want to send them text. Well, you're simply making that offer back to them because they initially requested either information from you, they requested a quote, they requested an estimate, or maybe they were actual customers. All that goes to say that they proved that they were actually interested in your business. Whether or not you ever did business with them doesn't matter, but the fact that they were interested in it, they opted in, you need to provide some kind of service to them, make an offer to them. So now you can make an offer to that list, and hopefully you can see some of those numbers that I provided. You hear about these things, you never really know if it's going to work. But in this case, it doesn't cost that much to text. So even 10,000 texts going out, it only costs a little over $100, $150, but the potential ROI is very good. So those are the things to look at. You never know if any kind of marketing, if anything works until you try it. But here I just wanted to show you that example and show that this is a real good option for shops out there that have a current list. So database reactivation campaign using SMS in addition to any kind of marketing that you're already doing. Hopefully you're already doing paid advertising. If you need help with any of that, guys, if you need help with database reactivation campaigns for SMS, then go over to autoshopmarketingpros.com and click on schedule. We can see if this would work for you. Check out what you're currently doing, what's working, and what might be helpful to improve. And we can go from there. All right, guys, take care. God bless. Bye-bye.